All right, item number 17, resolution number 2016-234, appropriating $410,000 to the Dothan Downtown Redevelopment Authority for assistance in funding the Porter Hardware Museum and Visitor Center project, which is $350,000 for capital expense and $60,000 for operating expense.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, before we have any discussion, I'd like to recognize Kenneth McKissick, if you'll come down to the podium and give your address. And we're not, sir. It's right there. You can see it right there. All right.
Is it started?
It's going now.
I appreciate you letting me speak, because maybe I'm asleep. But $410,000. First thing that came to my mind. Why? I know how, but why have we got that kind of money sitting around available to give out like that? And then I hope you realize, some of y'all, this is a never-ending thing. Before some of y'all ever came to Dothan, downtown Dothan, before this group even, has been getting money from the citizens. So I hope you realize that this cash bucket is a bottomless bucket. You're just going to keep pouring. And the only thing I felt a little better about that proposal this morning on the Dothan Eagle article, about y'all outlining how it was going to be, I would feel a whole lot better about this proposal if the downtown group would agree that this is their allocation money for next year. That would be great, because that way, because I'm telling you, before the end of this year, they're going to be back, want more money. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So I'd also like, Jansen, you'll just come down, and then we'll open it up for discussion. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mayor. I would just like to say that I've been kind of the champion with this, being friends with the family and all the way through. We're in the process, and I'm not sure exactly where we are, of trying to do a foundation, or going to do a foundation to help sustain this. So we hope there'll be some private funding to come forward to, year after year, to help sustain this along the way. And, this will be open up to the public, anyone that wants to contribute to the foundation once we get this going. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Jansen, would you mind identifying, because the average citizen does not realize this is not just the Porter Hardware building, that this is 5 pieces of property. Would you mind, so that we can put that on public record?
Yeah, absolutely. What you're talking about when you look at this project is, like you're saying, 28,000 square feet under roof. And just kind of as a diagram that you can see here, here's Main Street, South Foster, South St. Andrews. Here's the hardware store that we all know and love. Right here's this long building. And so not only are we getting that structure, which is 2 stories, we're getting the building that's next to it on Main Street. We're getting the large 9,000 square foot building that's over here on South Foster. Currently, all along here also is buildings. This is the old stables where they kept the mules and so whatnot, and an office building right over here on South St. Andrew Street. So again, you're looking at 28,000 square feet being donated to the DDRA. And in request of that donation, they want to make sure that the Porter Hardware Store, Dothan's and the state's longest running hardware store at the time that it closed, has some type of preservation and remembrance of the family. A family that helped build this community, literally. That store brought more goods into this town that helped establish us as the hub of this region. And so by preserving that museum and visitor center that we're going to double up, we have a lot more property that we're able to generate revenue, get power streaming in there, and provide more opportunities for Dothan. So quite a bit of property there. One thing I will mention, too, I read it in the Dothan Eagle this morning. When you look at the ongoing cost for the operational cost, I want to be very clear that that $60,000 is not for a salary. We've got $26,000 in there to man someone 6 days a week in there. So that's an hourly rate of about $9 an hour for someone to run that 6 days a week, probably be 2 part-time people. You got $8,400 of that's utilities, $6,000 of that's maintenance and pest control. We've got to have good termite coverage and pest control downtown. We've got insurance, cleaning supplies, security, internet, and other office miscellaneous supplies. So I did want to make that point of clarity that it's not a $60,000 salary. We've got about $26,000 to staff this with 2 part-timers. The rest of that's going back into our economy through utilities and purchases and whatnot.
And also point out, you're going to move your offices in there.
Correct. Jamie B. Avenue, my director of merchants and marketing, and myself will use the current office that's back there, and we're excited about it. It's got 2 beautiful safes that are back there. It's got windows. It's just a beautiful space. For those of you that were able to take the tour with us in the commission a few weeks ago, you kind of got a glimpse into that. I mean, you literally walk back in time. And so, you're preserving truly one of the unique gems of this community. And I'll stress it again, our town was built out of this store, literally. And so I'm excited about preserving it for the future.
Chance, can you give us a little bit on phase 2 through 4, what your plans are for that to cover those expenses?
Absolutely. As the family, when we were having these discussions, being able to preserve that hardware store is what we're doing with this phase 1 and creating those parking. Phases 2 through 4 include tackling the building that's on South Foster Street. Again, that's 9,000 square feet. We're going to be looking for a public-private partnership with the DDRA, much like we do all the time. We're going to find someone to partner with, develop that building, and enter into a long-term relationship with them. South St. Andrews is another building that we're able to phase that in. That would be phase 3, and then that other building on Main Street would be phase 4. Again, those are all items that we've stressed and want to continue to stress we're not coming back to the city for. This gives us the mechanism to work with these private developers, to work within our means and our capabilities to provide those into capable, usable square footage buildings to put back into production, which puts it back on the utilities, puts it back where we're generating taxes out of there, and brings businesses and people back downtown. So it's all economy generators for us, and it's not anything, again, that's going to come back to the city. This $350 is our one request for capital improvements to this project. This is what makes this project go. This is what makes this project happen. Everything else is on us to make happen.
Okay.
One last thing, just is with any old building, you never know what you find, and so I think we've talked, and you're committing to $350. If you find another $100,000 worth of what needs to be done, that's on the DDRA.
That's where we're dipping into our budgets, absolutely. And let me say, we're prepared for that. We're working through our budget processes right now, and so our action this year, what you're going to see, is 2 projects. We're going to finish the hub on Troy, and we're going to concentrate on Porter Hardware. And those are the 2 things that you're going to see us accomplish with our budgets this year. And we feel very comfortable with where we're at. We've been in that building quite a bit. We've had contractors in that building with us. But as you said, you never know what you're going to uncover. But there won't be coming back asking for more money on it. We're going to work within our means on it.
How many square feet of that 28,000 will be used for office space?
So the bottom floor of the main Porter Hardware is just over 3,500 square feet, and we carve off maybe that back 300 square feet. And so that's not a whole lot, and it was an office for Miss Thrower to use, and so we're not building any walls. We're literally going to take the office that they use for the building, and we're just going to keep the same glass, the same woodwork, and we're just going to turn that into our offices.
So we're talking about 300 square feet?
Correct.
No more?
No, sir.
Okay, how much are you using now?
Well, between the 2 of us, we have 2 offices in the hub on Troy. Our offices are probably about 300 square feet, give or take.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Mayor, I just want to say I thank Jansen, your work on this, and Andy and the family and their generosity to partner with the city. I got to see the building last week, the hardware store, and it brought back a lot of memories. It's like stepping back in time. I think it's a worthy venture. The problem I have is we have already committed $1.5 million to the Howell School project. That's a significant number, no matter how you slice it. And I don't know if that's going to come to fruition or not, but I think we have a responsibility to assume that it is going to happen. And we are on the hook for 1.5. So if you add that to this figure, you're looking at $2 million we've committed to this year. We have tremendous responsibility in our sewer, our infrastructure needs. We have to do those things. And I have concerns about the Howell School project. This is much more palatable to me than the Howell School was, but I know that's a matter of opinion. But that's my concern, Mayor, is the cash outlay we have if that does come to fruition.
Okay. And we did make a commitment to Howell School, and that'll be, if that happens, at this point we're not sure that it will. It's 2017. We are blessed that our city's doing very, very well. We have put money away. Obviously, our top two priorities: public safety, fire, police, utilities, and then infrastructure. And we have invested well over $100 million in all that. So, but we also need to also understand that we are a sales tax-driven community. So what kind of investment can we make in our community that'll help draw people downtown, that'll bring more people into our community and collect more sales tax and continue to grow? And this is a part of our history. This is a one-time opportunity to get 5 buildings and honor the family at the same time. And if you're a millennial, downtown's important to you. So we need to make a commitment for the future of our city. So I would ask that we vote yes. So unless there's any other discussion, I'm going to call for a vote.
The only thing I would like to say is I truly believe this is the kind of project that 20 years from now you're going to look back and say was a significant impact, not only on downtown but Dothan. I've been involved in redevelopment in several cities, and I go back, especially the Columbia, South Carolina, and we could have only dreamed that our investment there would turn out the way it is today.
So I'm calling for a vote. All in favor say yay.
Yay.
All opposed say nay.
Nay.
Okay. Thank you, Jansen. I appreciate this.